Alright folks, hey, it's Tuesday morning. I'm just leaving All Tech Recycling here in North Little Rock. Already delivered. Called dispatcher Joey and he's told me, as he mentioned yesterday, going over to Little Rock, just a few miles from here, to pick up a load of tire chips. Going down to, I think, Ashdown, Arkansas. I didn't film much of that unload back there. And what I did film, I don't think it actually worked. Because, well, once I got started filming, the camera stopped. So usually that means it didn't film. So anyway, you've seen that many times if you've been watching my videos. I think I was the first truck in, and then there was an Oakley truck right behind me. So what Joey told me yesterday afternoon was I'm going to get this load of tire chips, take it down to Ashdown, Arkansas, which is near Texarkana, and then go somewhere else. I don't remember where he said from there, that will deliver to Ennis, Texas. So that seems to still be the plan. All right, more later. All right, folks, I'm over here in Little Rock. It was just like a 4-mile drive. We got the Little Rock Airport over here on the right side. I can see downtown Little Rock over to the left in the distance. But we're approaching the turn to get to Davis Rubber Company. Well, it's a little ways down the road. Now, I picked up a load here several weeks ago, and the place was full of standing water. In fact, it was super messy, just water everywhere. I actually got stuck backing into the loading area, and they had to pull me out with the forklift. So I'm gonna try to go in a little bit different way this time to avoid some of the water, because you don't have to scale in or out. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's not required. Oh man, so this is it here on the right. I'll try to show you some of it. There's still going to be plenty of standing water. Oh man, this is just a messy place. There's no other way to say it. All right, so now the first time I came in there to the left, but this time, well, let's see. I don't know if I could make the turn to get into the backup area if I go to the right, so I'm going to go this way. Might avoid a little water. Surprisingly, there's not as much standing water here as the first time I came, believe it or not. The first time, this whole area right up here was just a gigantic puddle. Alright, I guess there's a guy up there kind of waving to me to stop. So I guess let me see what he wants. Okay, so I walked back there to see what was going on. There's already a truck back there getting loaded, I guess. I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the turn here, kind of get into a backing position. See what this guy tells me. Hold on a minute. Okay guys, he started loading me with tire chips. This time he's loading from inside the building. First time I was here, he loaded from over there somewhere. So luckily this time, if you remember when I did my first video here, I got stuck up there because my axles were tilted and I didn't seem like my axle lock was working. But this time it is. It did engage. I activated it up there before I even started backing up. And the light came on showing that it was on, and it seemed to do much better. So that's a relief. So these are pretty small tire chips, it looks like. He said he's gonna put about 9 buckets on, and then we'll see how it looks on the weight. So yeah, nice weather today. Kind of cool, but real nice. In a couple months we'll be wishing we had some cool weather. But man, they got a lot of tire chips and stuff around here. Even got some piles of like shredded metal over there. I guess that sorts out from the steel belting in the tires somehow, but quite a process. And like I said, this goes down to Domtar Industries in Ashdown, Arkansas. So I'm just giving you a look at this. That's how it works. You can tell I got my truck washed late yesterday afternoon, and it stayed clean. It's just the tires. It's not mud really I'm going through, it's just water. So it's not that bad. All right, more later. All right, boys and girls, we have arrived here at the Domtar plant in Ashdown, Arkansas. I've been here a couple of times before. I've already scaled in and made my way back around. You know, it's quite a ways to get back here from the scale. But I'll show you a little bit of it. I got behind a line of log delivery trucks, about 12 of them. Oh, I don't have a seatbelt on. I thought I was going to be stuck behind them, you know, but they told me on the CB I could come around, so that's what I just did. Kind of got around the log trucks. I didn't realize I could get around them until they told me to. Anyway, so I'm hauling these tire chips I picked up this morning in Little Rock. And I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but after I got loaded, I went and got on the scale, and then the loader came and put about, maybe a half a scoop, about 1,500 pounds, maybe 2,000 pounds, positioned on my trailer, kind of in 2 spots where I thought I could handle it. And that got my weight up to about 79.2. So that worked out pretty good. And I did get pulled into a weigh station in Arkansas on I-30. And actually got pulled in on the scale, and they let me go. So I guess everything was okay. So the place that we dump these tire chips is over here to the left. There's no other trucks there at the moment, so that's good. Alright, so I'll give you a look here. I've already rolled my tarp back and got my mud flaps put away. You see that pile there to the right? We're gonna back up to that, and that's where we dump. This is not the most level place to dump, but at least they've got the pile pushed back far enough where I should be able to angle in here and get lined up pretty well. And it's not holding a lot of water. Okay, I'll show you something in a minute. Okay guys, let me show you real quick. Here's the pile, I've backed up to it. Got my mud flaps up. Got my suspension already dumped. Got my gate open and secured here. Barn door style. And here we go. Fixing to start dumping it out. This is what's already fallen out just from opening the gate. But that's where we're going with it. All right, let's get it dumped. I'll try to give you a look of this while I'm sitting here in the truck. You can see some of it starting to fall out. There it comes. Yeah, you can see it falling out now. Once the trailer gets up high and dump some out, I'll put it down some and then pull up a little, and so it's got more room to fall out. That's how it works. All right, let's take a look at it and see how clean it dumped out. There's the load right there. Oh, pretty good. Just go through it one time with a broom, I'll be all right. So I'll put the trailer down now, pull up just a few feet, give it a sweep, and we'll be ready to go. All right, folks. Well, let me give you an update. I left Ashdown, Arkansas a while ago, and they had given me a load to pick up in Glenwood, Arkansas, but they wanted me to go get a trailer washout first, so I was about 15 minutes from the trailer washout place in Prescott, Arkansas, when dispatcher Joey called and asked me if I would be willing to go back to Texarkana to pick up a load that had to be picked up today by like 3:30, and it's 2:13 now. I said, yeah, sure. So I hit the next exit, turned around. Now I'm headed the opposite way on I-30 towards Texarkana. I got 35 minutes till I'm at the shipper, which should put me there, you know, a little bit before 3. It's a load of shred, he said, going to the Gerdau plant in Fort Smith. So it'll be a little bit of a shorter load. Not really a great load, because that trip from Texarkana to Fort Smith is just a slow drive through the hills of western Arkansas. But I won't have to get a trailer washout, and it'll probably be a quicker load, because the place I was going to, I forget what he said it was, but it was basically like roofing granules. It would probably be a slow load. Anyway, this'll work out. This'll work out. and there's at least a couple of places I've picked up loads at Fort Smith for Oakley, but I don't think I'll have time on my clock to get it delivered today. I hadn't even looked enough at the details of the order to know if it's supposed to be delivered today or in the morning. Probably in the morning, because I'm under 4 hours now on my drive clock for today. I've got like 5 minutes of extra work time above my drive time clock. So, you know, when I get out of here with this load, I'm just going to estimate, you know, I might have, you know, maybe 2.5 hours left, which is enough to get on down the road a ways, but not enough time to get all the way up to Fort Smith from Texarkana. So, but that's okay. This is one of those deals where, you know, the load I gave up picking up in Glenwood, Arkansas and going to Ennis, Texas, it would have been more miles. But, you know, it probably would have had more downtime. That's just a guess. Counting the trailer washout and waiting on a load of roofing granules at a CertainTeed plant. I don't know. So if it'll help them out, I don't know what happened, you know, if there was another driver already assigned to it that broke down, or he didn't say, but they were committed to picking up the load today, and I was the closest driver to it. So hopefully this will solve the problem for everybody. All right, well, that's what's going on for now. Okay guys, so here we are beginning to get loaded. This is called Tri-State Iron and Metal Works, I believe. We just put the first scoop in. Let's get my gauge going here. So that's what I'm getting right there. It's called shred. Woo! Getting a lot of scrap metal. So I had to not only take my tarp off, but I had to take my bows off to be sure he's not gonna hit the bows. I told him to shoot for 46,000 pounds. So that's 2 scoops. Pretty heavy stuff. So again, this load goes up to the Gerdau plant in Fort Smith, Arkansas. You can see all the different sorting equipment they've got around here. Different piles of stuff. So I'll show you one more. See how it's all just coming off that belt and dumping into the pile? Then they got a pile over there and all sorts of different piles sorting this stuff out. Alright, I guess he's put one in the front, one in the back. Let's see what he does here. Looks like he's going to the front. Alright, so we're already at about 32,000 on the front. Alright, more later. Alright folks, so got out of that shipper there in Texarkana, a few miles back. I was wrong earlier when I was estimating my time. I've got over 4 hours of drive time. I could get all the way to the customer today, but they quit receiving at like 3:30 p.m. It's already past that, so I checked with Joey, dispatcher, and he said just try to deliver it first thing in the morning. I think they start at 7. And it's possible I might even get a reload out of Gerdau. So we're getting on 30 west here for a few miles, then we're going to head north up the western side of Arkansas up toward Fort Smith. There's a truck stop about, I can't remember the name of the little town. It's just a little truck stop. It's got parking for about 20 trucks maybe. About the only thing there is, besides a tiny little rest area with room for about 5 trucks. So I'm going to try to make it to that probably a couple hours from there, and then we'll get up and get this delivered in the morning. Woo, man, I tell you, I've been to some junky, messy places today. Sometimes these scrap yards are tough. Woo, but that one was nice and quick, man. I mean, it's pulled right in off the road. I had to wait maybe 15 minutes for my turn to get on the scale, but once I scaled in, I drove around back. Loader was waiting on me. Didn't have to adjust the load any. I weighed about 79.2 loaded. I think my net for the load was, let me look here, 47,600. So that's good. Nailed it pretty good. Didn't have to take any load off. Didn't have to get any more. So that worked out real good. So yeah, we got about 16 miles to go, and we're going to head north on Texas 8. Then we'll cross into Arkansas. Okay, more later.